What's up, Greg? I was not expecting to make a video today, but I've been getting so many DMs about this situation that I had to stop what I was doing. I had to put down the very important things that I was doing to sit down and make an emergency video. This is an emergency video, folks. Literally like 90% of my DMs have been about this for the past 2 days, so I had to come on here and let everybody know that Merge Mansion, the game whose ads I've made a few videos about, has gotten Pedro Pascal in an ad. I am making this video to let you all know that Pedro Pascal is in a Merge Mansion ad. Actually, he's in 2. So you guys probably remember I made a video on this channel about Merge Mansion in the past, and then I actually made a second one on my second channel that probably not all of you have seen, when they got Kathy Bates to play the live action version of the grandma in their ads. If you don't know, Merge Mansion is like this home gardening fixer-upper type game where you inherit an old mansion, I think, and you're like upgrading it and you're doing gardening and stuff like that. But then also all of the ads have this like murder mystery element to them, and I don't know if the game has that in it. I still refuse to play the game. I'm not gonna play it. I don't want these ads to work on me, all right? My mind is an impenetrable fortress today, okay? I'm not falling for these ads. I see ads like this where a company is trying something fun and exciting, trying to shove their game down my throat, and I say, no, I'm not falling for this advertisement. I'm gonna see a commercial for Coca-Cola and then drive to the gas station and make an impulse purchase like a normal person. Anyway, I'll show you the first of the ads now. It's called A Twisted Game.
Honestly, I don't even know where to start. On the surface, you've got this perfectly normal family.
Okay, so this ad introduces a new character to the Merge Mansion lore, which I am a little bit familiar with, honestly, more familiar than I would like. So what I know so far is that the granny has murdered somebody. I cannot figure out from the ads who she's murdered, and I don't think that it's even answered in these ads, honestly. She's murdered someone, and then her granddaughter, who is the younger woman character in this game, is like slowly uncovering clues to what's going on. Now we've got Pedro Pascal in here, and he's playing Detective Tim Rockford, and he's come in to try to crack the case open.
On the surface, you've got this perfectly normal family. A young girl, her grandmother. You know, this is apple pie America.
A girl and a grandma. That's apple pie America, baby. Nothing more American than a girl and her grandma. Sorry, Europeans. Sorry, anyone anywhere else in the world. Actually, I don't know why I singled out Europe. Sorry, anybody anywhere except for America. You can't relate to apple pie or grandmas. We made them up, and just like everything else in American culture, it is starting to kill people. Please help.
It's like everybody is hiding something.
There's no body, no smoking gun, just a lot of knives.
See, this is where it loses me. The whole ad is framed as a trailer for a not real movie or TV show where Pedro Pascal is trying to figure out what's going on inside this home. I'm not sure what this lady is. I think it's like maybe a true crime podcast, so now we're not only getting like an investigation into the case, but we're also getting someone to comment on it. And then you guys are also getting someone to comment on both of those things. I like the true crime podcast element to it, honestly. It adds a fun little flair to it. What confuses me most is like, what do you mean there's no body?
There's no body.
Can you please explain to me what the crime is that you guys are trying to solve? Was someone murdered or not? Who was it? Just say it one time in one of the ads. Say who was murdered.
No smoking gun, just a lot of knives.
No murder weapons, unfortunately, just a shit ton of knives. So unfortunately, nothing suspicious has been found yet. Just a freakish obsession with knives, and not cooking knives. These are knives that are sold to be weapons.
There's no body, no smoking gun, just a lot of knives.
The fact that she's like, there's no smoking guns, it's just knives, makes me think that by like no body, she also means like, we can't find a body. The only thing we found is this skeleton. Super confusing. I'm worried that people are gonna think that I'm like sponsored by Merge Mansion by keep continuing to make videos about Merge Mansion. I'm not, okay? I'm not gonna play this game. I would be lying if I said that my curiosity wasn't piqued at least a little bit by this ad, because I'm like, who died? Who died and how did they die? How is knives not evidence? There's knives everywhere. They find them on every surface in this house. That's not evidence? Is the investigation to figure out if there even was a crime? Can you call 911 to be like, hey, a crime happened. Can you come figure out what it is? I don't know. I feel like I've been victim to some sort of injustice. I'm not sure what, but there's knives everywhere. Please come. That'd actually be an insane new genre of YouTube videos. You've heard of BuzzFeed Unsolved? How about BuzzFeed unfound. We haven't even found the crime yet, let alone solve it. Okay, here's the next ad. It's called Think Like a Grandma.
I was finally in, but still couldn't put the pieces together. What am I missing? Crime scene? Weapon?
You're missing a crime, I think. I still couldn't put the pieces together. What crime was I solving? What am I doing here? Who's this girl and this grandma? What is my job?
To catch a grandma, you have to think like a grandma.
Oh shit, okay, so that looks like some evidence there. A boiling pie? So maybe there was a crime committed, I admit it. Maybe somebody was murdered and then Granny made a pie out of him. Good old apple pie America, you know? You got loving granddaughter, murderous grandma, and pie grandpa. Nothing more American than that, baby. God bless America.
Think.
Another thing you'll notice is that Kathy Bates is not the grandma anymore. I don't know who that lady is, but that's not Kathy Bates. So they, I guess, could not afford to hire Kathy Bates and Pedro Pascal at the same time, which would be a pretty crazy collab. I guess it's probably not called collabs when it's like a movie or an ad. But this must be super confusing for the detective too. He gets pictures of all of the suspects and the grandma looks like Kathy Bates and then he gets there and this is the grandma. He's like, okay, I was solving a murder, but now we have to solve like who you are. You shapeshifter. What are you?
Think. What would grandma do?
He doesn't know the crime yet. That's why he's saying, what would a grandma do? What sort of crimes would a grandma commit? Tax evasion? Turning her husband into a pie? Maybe they just live in a small town where literally nothing is going on. And so he's like, I'll put police tape up at some old lady's house and harass her. Sure, what the hell? Just try to figure out what crime she may have committed in her past. That's a cool little touch too, where it like turns into the video game graphics at the end there. And this is an homage to one of the earlier ads too that I covered in the first video. Anyway, either way, some pretty insane marketing. People have been talking about this nonstop, at least in my DMs, and I've seen people talking about it on Twitter too. And also this ad from 4 days ago has 7.4 million views, which is pretty crazy. All of their other ads have like maybe 20 to 60,000 views. So getting our boy Pedro in there really pushed the ad. Now, a lot of the discourse that I've seen around this ad, both in DMs and otherwise, have been people being like, there has to be something fishy going on. How did they get Pedro Pascal in their ad? How did this random shitty game get Pedro Pascal in their ad? For example, this TikTok.
The next time someone asks me what my favorite conspiracy theory is, I'm gonna tell them that I think the Merge Mansion is a money laundering operation. Because how the fuck can they afford an ad with Pedro Pascal in this day and age, in this economy?
Controversial opinion? They do make that much money.
Even Candy Crush didn't have that kind of money. What is going on?
Candy Crush for sure had that much money, and Merge Mansion also for sure has that much money, dude. I hate to break it to you, but mobile games make a shit ton of money. How much money does Merge Mansion make? Currently, the game earns more than $10 million per month from its players. So far, the game has bagged more than $160 million. So they make $10 million a month. How much does Pedro Pascal make? Okay, for The Last of Us, Variety reported that he earns $600,000 per episode. So I do hate to break it to you, but Merge Mansion definitely has enough money to hire Pedro Pascal without being a money laundering scheme, which a lot of people in the comments can attest to. This person said, listen, if you've played Merge Mansion and are addicted, you'll get it. They're constantly pushing buying things, but not enough for me to stop playing it. So they make a lot of money from their players, and I'm guessing based on the 7 million views they got on that ad by just posting it for free on YouTube, like they didn't even need to put it in the Super Bowl or anything, like I'm guessing that they're gonna get a good return on whatever investment. I mean, he makes $600,000 per episode of a TV show. I'm guessing they probably paid him less than that for a 1 minute long YouTube video. If you want a real conspiracy theory, here's a real conspiracy, dude. For The Last of Us, he earned 4.5 million. My conspiracy is that Pedro Pascal is actually a huge Merge Mansion fan. And while he made $4.5 million from The Last of Us, he spent $4.6 million on Merge Mansion upgrades. He's in immense debt to Merge Mansion, to the grandma herself perhaps even. And when Merge Mansion caught wind that Pedro Pascal is the owner of the account that owes them $4.6 million, they said, hey, listen, we'll wipe out all your debt for one measly little commercial. Actually, 2 measly little commercials. And what could Pedro say? But okay, fine, I'll do it. I bet he took the job because because it was funny. No, I bet they paid him. I bet he took the job because they paid him a shit ton of money, honestly. I like that, like, people's only two theories are like, this is a money laundering scheme, or he took it because he's funny. There's no way this game that makes hundreds of millions of dollars paid an actor to act. Danny Gonzalez is gonna have a field day with this. I mean, they're right, dude. I am over here having a field day.